Hey everyone, welcome back to another show of the Power Hour with your host, moi, Lauren Powers. And I'm so excited today to bring on, not only is she just fabulous, but a new good friend, but has so much to share with you guys. So we're going to dive deep into how she got started, what motivated her, how she can inspire you, some tips and tricks on how to be healthy, wealthy, and happy, because I guarantee you she's all three. So here she is, Miss Tara Oldridge. Welcome to the show, and I'm so excited you're here.
Oh man, I am so happy to be here. Thank you, Lauren.
You
Thank you
look
so much.
amazing. You look amazing. I know you're not home. That's not your background.
Thank you. No, we are not home. We've got some wood paneling back here from 140 years ago.
We make it work, though. We make it work, right? I think you're at your hotel or something, you said.
Yeah.
That is not your beautiful home. I know that. I've seen you on Facebook Lives many times sharing so much information, and I want to thank you for that. You get on there and you're so open and so vulnerable, and you just so connect with the people, and you get me right away. I was crying with you on one of them. So I want to thank you. And that's why I chose you to be on the show, because not only are you a big coach, but you've got so much, so much depth there. And let's talk about it. Share with you who you are so that we can get to know you a little bit better.
Okay. Well, I'm Tara.
Yes.
And it's interesting because a lot of my days, most of my days are in service. I'm in service to my clients. I'm in service to my kids. I'm in service to my husband, and I am a coach. I'm a badass business coach. That's what I do. But I really, yes, I am. But I've really redesigned the definition of coach to be servant. And so when I'm asked like, "Ooh, tell us about you," I'm like, because I really don't talk about myself a lot. But the reality is that I'm awesome, and the world should know more about me.
That's right, girlfriend. This is your platform. Let's do it.
That's it. So
you are awesome.
And the thing is that, I'm just like you, and I'm just like you. And that, there's maybe I'm a couple of steps ahead in one direction or another. But what I love about this human journey that we're on is that we're all the same. Mm-hmm. And when I can bring light to little corners of the earth like this interview, I love it. And so came from, humble beginnings. I have all the things in my life that a lot of us have, like abuse and, I was sexually abused, physically abused, and, all the things that nobody really likes to talk about, and that I've moved forward. And thank the Lord I've gotten to move forward in this, because I really was a time in my life just really defined by what happened to me, what the abuse that I had in my life, and all the dark alleys that I went down. And I finally came to a point in my life where I took charge, and I was able to cut that past away from me and outward focus, like I was talking about, and just become a servant. And so I think I hit my darkest spot when I worked on cruise ships. So I went through high school. I was abused. I got beat up all the time by girls. I was bullied every day.
Where are they? I'll get them for you. Where are they?
What's that? Oh, I know. And I'm so grateful for them today. And when I look at their lives, I'm like, thank you so much for being a total jerk to me when I was growing up, because it pressed me into being the diamond that I am today. And we really get to look at those dark moments in our life as just like the compression that was necessary to create this diamond out of the rough. I mean, if you look back at, if you know anything about diamonds, like mining for diamonds, is really hard. First of all, they're really, really far down in the ground. They're really hard to extract. And then once you actually extract it from the ground, it's like a rock. It doesn't look like a diamond until you buff it and shape it and clean it and clean it and clean it, and then buff it and shape it and clean it some more. And then you get this beautiful diamond. And so
show your ring.
It's about the dark times. Yeah, that great.
There,
This is a great example.
exactly. There you go.
Okay. And so, I mean, there were moments in my life where I didn't, dark depression. When I was on cruise ships, I was making, I'm an auctioneer, like 1.25, 1.5, 75 and 2.5 go bills. So I can do that.
Yes,
And,
I've seen you
I
do
was on
that.
cruise.
I've seen you. That's when I met you. You were doing that. I was so impressed.
It is really impressive. And it's the weirdest thing. It's the most weirdest talent to have. But anyway, so I was on cruise ships and I was an art auctioneer. Lauren, I was 23 years old and I was the top auctioneer in the company, making tens of thousands of dollars every month. Like I was doing so well, but I was, and maybe this is TMI, I don't know, but I just know how to be honest. And so I was, selling my soul to fame, fortune, and men. I felt so empty because obviously the money and the prestige of the career, it wasn't filling me up. And so I was looking for love, somebody else to make me feel whole inside. And that didn't work. I had a new boyfriend every 3 weeks. My husband and I laugh now that I had a revolving door on my cabin. It was like new boyfriend in, old boyfriend out, and it was like this. And it was just really dark. It was really dark time. And at the time, my mom was struggling with drug addiction. And I was really feeling the heavy weight of that. And I had abandoned her emotionally. And I was just like, you know what, if that's who you're going to be, I'm going to cut you out of my life. And we know that never works. Cutting people out of your life, that never works. And so I had to have some really intense conversations with myself. And then fast forward, I meet my husband, we get pregnant, I have a baby, I've got this beautiful life, and I'm still not happy, And my husband's looking at me being like, woman, like what is ever going to make you happy? Like,
I know your husband. I can see him doing that.
Yeah. And he's like, what is it? And I think a lot of us find ourselves in those moments in time where we're just like banging our head against a wood wall, and we're expecting this new result, but we're not willing to give up what we have for what we want.
Good point.
And so I was like, okay, well, what do I want? And what I really wanted, and it came out one day in a conversation with my dad, of course, because all the beauty in my life is made from a conversation with my dad. And he said, Tara, what do you want? And I'm like, you know what I really want? I want to, and these were my exact words. I'm like, I want to be standing on a stage and I want to be showing women what they can have out of this life. And I'm not pretending to have it all figured out right now, but I know I have that inside of me to give. I know it instinctively, and we all know something instinctively.
Right.
We all do. Like, you've always known you were Lauren Powers. The difference between you, like the only difference between you and somebody else who also has a Lauren Powers inside of them is that you stepped into the fear of creating her.
That's right. And it's not always easy.
Only difference.
It's not easy either. You have to do the work and be willing. You have to be willing, right? So you were so willing. I love it. So keep going. I love this.
Well, okay. So I don't know that I was willing.
You just knew.
At first. I knew, like, I felt that pull. It's like, it's an energetic pull. You probably know exactly what I'm talking about. It's something that weighs super heavy here. And it's like pulling you. It doesn't weigh you down. It literally is like pulling you, and you're like resisting the pull. You're like, no, I don't want to. Right. And so that's what I was doing because I was afraid of being judged. I didn't trust my voice. I was afraid of being rejected. Like, what would all those girls who beat me up in high school talk about now? Like, I'd give them ammo to like bring me down even more, have my family reject me. And you know what? Those are the prices that I got to pay for being who I am today. I've had family, literally family, like shut me out of their life because they don't believe that I have a right to be speaking my truth. Isn't that crazy?
That's insane.
Like, it's crazy.
That's crazy.
It's insane. It's crazy. And those are the prices that we get to pay as leaders.
Yes, I'm with you, girlfriend. I'm feeling it every day. Just being vulnerable and put yourself out there and taking that leap of faith. I know you're very spiritual and a Christian woman like myself. And I think that helps a lot to empower us to just step into and go through that fear. I mean, I've been working with you, actually. You've seen me as well. And I've watched you through our leadership course and doing the work. It's not easy. You don't just wake up and decide, oh, I'm going to be on stage today. It doesn't unfortunately work that way. You have to really, go through, look at what you've been through. You used all those things that happened to you. And now you're looking at it, they happened for you. I think that's just a huge, it's that one word, 2 and 4, right? It just shifts everything. I just love it. The transformation.
Oh gosh, our language is so important.
Right.
I think when I interviewed Ed Milet on my show, and he should be on your show, by the way, he'd be perfect for your show. But he talks about that all the time. Like the minute that you can understand that everything in life is happening for you, like game changer. It's the same with saying that you have to do something. Like we get to, like I've admired.
Right. Get to, I love it.
Lauren, I've admired watching your transformation so much because you're like, you know what? I don't care. Screw it. I'm going all in. And that's just who you are. You're like an all in kind of girl. And you're like, you know what? I'm getting messy. And we get to be prepared to just like get messy and then clean up the pieces afterwards. God, I mean, people who think this is easy, it's not.
It's not.
And it's worth it.
But it's worth it. I was just going to say, it's not easy, but it's worth it. One of my quotes in my book is, it's the hard that makes it good. Because if it was easy, everyone would do it, right? So I think it's that willingness and openness to be messy and being judged. I mean, I've been judged my whole life, kind of like you. I've been bullied and all these things growing up. But guess what? Look at us now, right? It's empowered us through right? We use it. I love that you thanked your bullies. That is so, just that little message alone is so
grateful for them.
Yes. Exactly. Yes. We love it. Like, bring it on. Now I say the same thing. If you want to judge me, I'm like, bring it on. Because actually it's in my book. I had a conversation with Lady Gaga. Hello. And I kind of listened to her because she said, as many people love you will be as many people that hate you. And she laughed like $90 million to the bank that year. She was 23. Right. I'm like, she knows what she's talking about. She created her little monsters.
Right.
Remember how hard she was being judged when she came out in the meat suit and all those crazy things that, people were hating on her so hard, and she welcomed it. And now look at her, she transformed, and now she's on the other side of it. And I always remember that when I'm doing things that are new and scary, and instead of being in fear, I remember that story, and I'm like, you know what, bring it on. And you know what, all the naysayers and haters in my personal life are walking around with 15-inch biceps and things that I've done has dissipated, Tara. It's like, I don't hear that anymore. It's so amazing. And I just think you are in the same boat. You don't care what people think. And I think just that mind shift alone is so powerful. We just take off what people think about us and not worry about being judged. Who cares? It's like, these people don't impact my life, right? You know what I mean? If you don't care what people think, it doesn't matter.
Well, I think if I'm being really honest, Lauren, I still do care sometimes.
Well, we are human. Hello. We want to look nice, and we're fixing our hair, and of course we want to be presentable.
Yeah, for me, it's not so much in the way that I look that I care. It's when I feel that I'm not trusting my voice, and I use my voice, and sometimes I'll question my voice, like, "Ooh, should I have said that? Ooh, was that wrong?" Or, oh, like, I don't know, like, maybe they think I'm this because I said that.
Well, you go all out. You give it all. That's why. And
well, I'm prepared to be messy. Exactly. Those are the prices I get to pay. Because I'm also open to feedback, and I'm responsible with feedback. I can take somebody's feedback and go, okay, like, this is their experience of me. Does it land? And if it doesn't land, it flows through me and I carry on. And it's like, well, that's not me. I know who I am. And if it lands, if it's like, like when someone says something and you're like, what? You didn't just say that. What did you just say? Right? Then I'm like, whoa, that is an indicator that, there's something here for me. There's a little gift in here for me. And I love that we're getting onto this topic because there's a lot of people in our culture and our society, Lauren, and the majority of your audience who's going to watch this, who's walking around in this world like so sensitive. and like not able or willing to have tough conversations about who they're showing up as, and they get offended or defensive, and like that's just it doesn't serve you to be that way. And all this political correct garbage that we have going on.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I know. I was talking to Monty Cox this morning on the phone about Jesus. He's got all these questions for me about Jesus, and whatever. I'm unattached to whatever your audience believes, but it's like, if you just want to take Jesus and look at Jesus as a leader, like
right,
he didn't mess around,
No.
like with his words, like what he told people. He was like, I was listening to Courtney Piku this morning on one of her Facebook Lives. She's a healer. You've got to check her out. She's amazing. Courtney, Lauren. Oh my gosh, like Courtney Piku is amazing. But she's a healer, and she said, Jesus went to who was it now? Joshua or somebody like this, and he's like, you want to be healed? You want to be healed? Then pick up your mat and walk. Like
perfect.
Essentially Jesus was saying, like, just get going, get out of your head.
Action, right? Take action.
Like, just first of all, believe you can. Believe you can, and then pick up your mat, stop whining, stop crying, stop being such a baby, and walk. Like, try it.
That's right. It starts from there, right? You have to believe. I think that's just huge. No matter what it is, you have to believe. And it helps when you have people that believe in you if you're just getting started. Would you agree? Having that support team.
Well, sometimes that's all you have.
That's right.
And that's what I tell my clients when they come on with me. I say, because a lot of they are really nervous. I find a lot of my clients where I was. Of course, that's natural. You'll find a lot of the people who you work with right where you were when you started to transition. And I was nervous. I was scared. I didn't trust my voice. And so I find a lot of my clients in that same energy. And I just tell them, hey, listen, you know what? Like, I get it. You don't believe in yourself, but I have a vision for you. Borrow my belief in you. Just borrow my belief in you.
I love that. Yes, till you get started, and then you build your own confidence, right? It helps.
Exactly. And you know what is so cool? All my clients, because I've had my coaching business now for 2 years, and now my clients, I found them there where I was just talking about, they borrowed my belief in them, and now they're saying the same thing to their clients. And it just
pass it down. I love
the ripple effect. It's the ripple effect.
That's so awesome. I love it. Let's talk more about transformation, because you're so good at it and seeing that. Talk about the feedback. I've gotten some feedback when going through the leadership with you, and it's all how you take it and handle it. It's powerful stuff, and the prices we get to pay. I mean, we're doing a thing every day, and I would encourage whoever's listening that they look at that. I mean, we wake up and we commit and to what we want to be that day, right? Whether it's loving, powerful, kind, loving, vulnerable, whatever it is. And then at the end, the prices you're willing to pay, and then what happened that day. I just think that just that small exercise is so powerful. I know for myself, it's been transformative because it's accountability, really.
Yeah, it is.
You're standing for that. You're putting words to it. You're committing. And when you commit to something, just that intention is so huge, because if you're like me, I know you are, we want to do what we say. And there's a question, whatever's in my phone, that gets done. I don't care what it is. If I write it in there, it's a done deal. And it's as simple as that. It doesn't have to be hard, but it's exciting to see at the end of the day that, wow, I really did this, and this. And then it's a win, and it could be a baby win as we go, but then it adds up to big wins. And I don't know, I just love this work. I just love it. And I just love you because you're so embedded in it. Your language, all the wording, I pick up on all the language now that you're using, which it's new, but I love it because it works, right?
It works. And what I love about
look at you, you're perfect proof. Look at you, had this rough childhood in the dark spots, and now look at you, you're amazing. You're on your stages, you're helping other people, you're giving, you're a servant now versus coach. I mean, this is big stuff.
Yeah, it is big stuff. And it's so humbling too, because really it's, I never consider my business mine. And thank God I don't have that pressure of this like being mine. I get to do this for the glory of God. I get to do this for the kingdom. I get to be a vessel and a vehicle for the Spirit. And that takes a lot of the pressure off of me. And what I love about what you said is like, and what I heard, I don't know, call it a download or my intuition or whatever. I'm pretty, I'm very intuitive. And I think it's really important that your audience knows that like people like Lauren and I, yeah, it's on our phone and it gets done, and we're unattached to what it looks like. Like, we don't care if I'm sitting in a restaurant right now, doing this interview. It's like, Lauren's like, I don't care. Like, I'm in my living room. Like, we're committed out of our minds to serving the world so that you pick your mat up and walk and reach out to women, Lauren and like Tara and like Jesus maybe one day, and like just make some decisions for yourself and be unattached to what that looks like. Maybe you want to start a coaching business. Maybe you want to get in the gym. Like, what do you want? Like, and if you want these things, you get to be unattached to how you get them. It's like expectations. If you expect that your husband's going to bring you home flowers, which my husband never does.
I'll talk to him about that.
I don't know what it is. Anyway, doesn't matter. If I expected him to bring me home flowers every day, I mean,
I'd be disappointed.
Right. And so if you're expecting to throw yourself into something new and it be this, like exactly how you expect it to go, like just walk away from it now. You've got to have grace on yourself. You've got to create space for yourself to be able to move and shift and learn and grow and be unapologetic about it.
Yes. Great word. Great word.
Like, you know how many people I'm like, yeah, okay, I said that. Yeah, okay, I did that. Who cares? Like new moment next. New moment next. What's next?
What's next? I know. Now what? So what? So what? Now what? Whatever. Right?
Now what? Yeah, that's it. That's what I was looking for.
So
new
what?
Moment.
Now what?
What?
I know when we connected the song with Carrie Underwood, remember? Unstoppable and Unbreakable. Like, oh, yes, we were dancing. It was like, I'm like, this is my walk-on song. And you're like, this is my walk-on song. I'm like, of course it is. I just heard it once. Yeah. I'm like, oh, I love that. I didn't even know who was singing it. I'm like, I just love the lyrics. It was so... It's just that connection is so good, just so good. You are so good. I'm just so excited to keep moving forward with you and help and transform other people. And I love so much that you serve. I don't know, what's your contract?
I am a confident, powerful, loving woman.
Yes, you are.
Yes, I am.
Yes, you are. And I'm a loving, powerful, generous leader.
Of course you are.
We'll see how we're both loving and the generous is in there because again, like we lead so much with our hearts. And I think that's why we connect. That's why we're doing the work that we do. We're all about giving and sharing. And I love that you changed the word coach to servant. I did hear you talk about that and that resonated with me because it's such a big deal. And it's not like a
a lot of people have this like ew feeling around being a coach. And I have to admit, even I did, like the word coach, it's just like, I don't know about that word. And I'm like,
it doesn't resonate with you, so you changed it. Right?
Well, yeah. And I mean, I don't even really know what I am. All I knew was that, my business is founded on service. It's like, I just serve.
So awesome.
It's a lot easier than coaching.
Right. Some of the coaching that I have heard though, like they call themselves coaches, they're like give, and then ask. Give, and ask. I've been giving. I always forget to ask. So I'm learning that.
Which is not generous.
That's right. It's a disservice. So I'm totally,
I've got no problem asking.
I love that. You see, I'm learning. I asked you to be on the show and you said yes. What's the worst thing that can happen? This person says no. It's like, just you got to be you. But I think you just have to step into that power and know and not be attached, like you said, not be attached to the results, whether it doesn't matter what it is. And I think that just that again is another big nugget to take into consideration, because so many people are attached to results. I know I used to be like, oh my God, I'm in it to win. If I didn't win, it was just like devastated. If I got, not the highest A in school, I was like tortured. It was all self-induced. So it's crazy. And it doesn't matter. These things do not matter at the end of the day. They really don't. You know what I mean?
They really don't.
But I love that word, fail forward. Have you been hearing that? Failing forward.
Yeah.
I just love that. You just keep moving. Like Jesus said, get up and walk. It's like we just keep pushing through. As long as we're moving forward, it's all good. You never know what's going to happen until you literally try, right? I put myself out there. I put myself out there all the time. Look at, hello, Wonder Woman.
You are Wonder Woman, Lauren. I mean, you are a magnet. Everybody loves you. And it's like, it's again, society and culture, what we've created around failing. Like, how on earth failing got under the category of bad?
Good point.
How on earth did that happen?
People, I don't know, came from somewhere, thought became action, right? And became a reality, and then people buy into it. And look what's going on in our world right now. Everybody's so fear-based instead of faith-based. I don't understand that. I think now we should dive into our faith more than ever.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a lot of people searching. There's a lot of people searching. And the coronavirus, it came to this planet so that we would search for God. I mean, my relationship with God has gotten more and more strong, more intense, more divinely connected before. And he's blessing me. I mean, my business has tripled. More women are stepping into their courage, and they're not being fear-based because it's so obvious. It's like, okay, you're falling into one of two categories right now. You're either spreading fear, panic, and being destructive and detrimental with your words, or you are talking about opportunity and possibility and the love and the light, and the people who choose this over here, the love and the light and the possibility and the opportunity and the effervescence and the excitement and the energy, they are going to be quantum leaped in that direction. Like a rocket ship over there. Mm-hmm. And the same, unfortunately, because I truly believe that there is a division in the human race right now, the people who choose the dark, choose the fear, choose the panic, choose anxiety, depression, all of that, and they start spreading that, they are going this way in a hurry. And so it's like really, really a critical time to choose who you are going to be. Who are you going to be? And I love what you said about waking up in the morning and choosing who you're going to be that day, like anchoring in your intention. Mm-hmm. So I'll be honest and vulnerable with you right now. Okay. Mostly because I don't think he'll watch this interview. And if he does, that's okay. He knows I'm honest and vulnerable. It's my superpower. Bill, my husband.
Oh, the husband. Yes.
The husband. That guy. Okay, so
that guy. Uh-oh, you're breaking up.
Very powerful man. Oh, am I?
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Say that again. Yeah, okay. One more time. I don't want to miss it.
Okay. It's the juice.
Yeah.
So I'm married to a very powerful man.
Yes.
And he's powerful in all ways. He sets his mind to something, he gets it done. He's prolific. He's successful. He's a beautiful man. He has a kind, generous, loving heart. He's so generous. And he's been pissing me off.
Oh, I love this.
This man, this husband of mine, has been driving me bonkers. And so, this morning I woke up and I made my declarations. And today I am committed to my faith. Every morning I'm committed to my faith first. Right. And I was committed to connection, love, and joy. And so I laid down.
Me too. It's in here.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Of course.
I love it. Of course.
We're connected. We are connected. And we're all about love and joy. So it makes perfect sense. Not a stretch, really.
We are connected. And so when I laid back down into bed, normally I would snuggle up. But the nerd inside of me, I call her Ashley, my pseudonym.
Her name? That's awesome.
Her name's Ashley. Every girl who ever had an issue with me in high school is named Ashley.
Named Ashley.
And so I named my inner bully, Ashley. So, but anyway, so Ashley did not want to snuggle. And like, I was telling you before this interview, like we're snugglers. We love to snuggle, like 4 of us in a bed. We're all like in each other's bodies. So I laid down and I didn't want to snuggle, but then I remembered what I committed to today. And I was like, I gotta snuggle. And so I did. I snuggled him and I rubbed his back, and it was just the beautiful start of a day.
Because you shifted, you shifted yourself, right? You didn't want to, but then you reflected back and you committed. And so we do what we commit to. It's lovely.
Yeah. And now I declare without evidence, he's going to bring me flowers today.
There you go. And you know what? We can make that happen. I have a phone call booked with him. I might mention it.
Oh, that's awesome.
You get flowers. Here, I'll give you some flowers.
Oh,
I'll share my flowers with you.
They make such a difference. They make such a difference.
I have a beautiful bouquet, and I will share that with my friend. There you go. Yes, because we're givers like that. See? You ask and you receive, right?
You do. There we go. I love it.
How do we get to like find more about you? Like what else is going on? Because I know you do live events, you do the speaking, you're a servant to so many. Yeah. Like what's up? What's next for you? You're a coach in the leadership.
It's kind of crazy. My next live event was scheduled for June. I host an event called Vision to Business because, again, like where I find my clients is they feel that calling, they feel that pull, they have no idea what it looks like. And so I show them how to create a business in 2 days. Essentially, like, yeah, just like take everything that you have in here, we're going to lay it out all over the room over these 2 days.
Get messy.
We're gonna get messy. Oh, there's a lot of tears at my events. Oh my gosh, there's tissue on every table. Because what you're supposed to be doing in the world is on your heart. It's not in your mind. And when you access that, like, woo, stuff gets real. So we talk about vision, what you want, what the limiting beliefs are that you're creating in your life. And so, the event was June, I think 18th or 19th or something like that. I'm not even attached to the date. But I don't know if we're going to do it. Like maybe we have to do it virtually. So, but one of the things that I've dedicated is allowing that event to be free right now. With everything that's going on, there's nothing more important than women stepping into their calling, women specifically stepping into their calling right now, accessing their vision, getting out of their heads of like, who's going to judge me? Who's going to reject me? Who's going to disown me? Can I trust my voice? And really creating a safe place for them to just vomit their heart. Like your heart needs a puke bucket.
I've never heard that before.
I just made that up.
I like that. That makes sense to me though. God.
We hold it so like everything's so close here and we don't want to share the matters of our heart. And so I create this really like safe place for women to just share what's on their heart. And then we create a business out of the matters of their heart.
Well, and so passion becomes your purpose, right?
That's the goal.
Yes, I love that.
That's the goal. But passion and purpose are not the same.
No.
Purpose is something that you're not, something that you're passionate about is very emotionally driven. Mm-hmm. It's just like you've got this emotional charge on it. My purpose, what God's called me to do, who God's called me to be, I don't always feel like being that every day.
See how honest you are. You're so honest. I love it.
So like, I don't get to be driven by my emotional state of like, do I want to be courageous? Do I want to be powerful? Do I want to be confident? Like if I was driven by my emotional state, I would probably choose no most days. And so I am driven by my commitment. And so your purpose is anchored in commitment. Your passions are anchored in your emotions, right? Like I'm really passionate about horses. I love them. They make me feel good. They make me cry. There's just something so beautiful. Anything that I can do to be around a horse, but like, I'm not committed to them. right? Like I get around horses for me.
You're breaking up a little bit. Repeat that.
Passion is for you. Your purpose is for others.
Okay. I like
Did you
that.
get that? Did you get
Let's say
that?
it one more time so we can get it.
Okay, your passion is for you. Your purpose is for others.
Perfect. Yes, I got it. And that makes perfect sense. I love that. And I love that you focus out. When you focus out, it takes that pressure off yourself. Like when you're on stage, people are like, how do you get up and talk in front of people? And I'm like, because I don't think about myself. I feed off the energy. Even when I was performing as a bodybuilder on stage, but I never had a routine. I just hear the music. I'd go out and literally perform, and the audience would love it. I was never the best bodybuilder, but I used to win because of my energy was focused out. I'm like, I pretended like I was, to the world. Like I'm moving and just feeding off that feedback. And it's such a powerful thing. But then you could see the other people that focused within, and they would forget their routine, and then the deer in the headlights. And it was just so sad to watch that. But it happens. It happens in everyday life. So I love.
And Lauren, how many people told you that you were crazy for not having a routine?
Everyone. They couldn't believe it. Everyone.
And did
like, how could you go? Yeah. How could you go out there not? How could you go out there not prepared? Like, and I'm like, because that way I never forget. If I don't have a routine, then there's no way to forget it. And my very first show that happened, and the girl that told me that, who was scheduled to win, I'll never forget it. What happened to her? She literally forgot her routine right in the middle. And it was this stop, panic, fear-based that everybody saw it. The judges saw it. I saw it. Like, it was so horrific. And poor thing, she didn't get her title that day because of that. She was so in her head. Instead of dropping down like we're taught, drop into our heart and give and focus out and just enjoy the moment, because those moments you can't get back. And so that, I was just known for that. I did guest posing all over the world, just going out and just free falling and getting the audience involved and just enjoying it and having a good time. And it showed, and I would win. And the judges would say, never lose that. And I swore the moment if I didn't enjoy myself doing it, then I don't do it. And I do that with everything in my life. If I'm not having a good time and it's not for a purpose and is my passion and I'm committed to it, then I don't do it. I do something else. And you find in my book, I've done a lot of things through my life because I just reinvent myself and transform as I go. And I never had training about it like I'm getting now. So now you've seen me in the class totally like be so open and vulnerable, because I've never celebrated any of these wins. I've never attached myself to it, which is part of what we're supposed to do. But I didn't do it. I just did it innately. I didn't know that that's what the words, you know what I mean? So it just means so much to me now. And I think that people, like, if they're looking for someone to serve them like you're perfect for that, because you've been through so much yourself and you give so much. I've seen you and I've watched you and we've, had some interaction, and you're not my personal coach, but I've been in the room with you and seen the transformation that you've caused. So I really encourage anybody that wants to work with you to do so, because you're a badass. So I love you.
Yes, I am.
Yes, you are. I just love it, because you just tell it like it is, and that's what I love about you too. You don't candy coat anything. When you're like, my spirits have used this, my spirits have used it. You just dive in and.
I can tell you this: I'm not getting to the pearly gates and God being like, "Why'd you hide me?" Like, I'm not having that happen.
You are not hidden, girlfriend.
Like, I'm going to talk about God. I'm going to talk about Jesus. And if it doesn't work for you, like, that's okay too. Like, it's really okay. That's how you find your tribe.
Exactly.
By being unapologetic. Like, I'm not going to be and know who I am about Jesus and God and not talk about that. That's outrageous. Like,
it doesn't even make sense, right?
It doesn't even make sense. And for anybody who is apprehensive about sharing the word of God, like, I don't go out there and pound Bible verses into people, but we are called to sound the trumpet. So if you're not doing something on the trumpet, I would invite you to look at that.
Yeah, so good. So good. I was so blessed. I went to Saddleback Church years ago, and Rick Warren was the pastor. And for day one, you called me Action Girl earlier. Same thing with my faith. I heard him. I was there. There's like 5,000 people there. It was huge. And I literally got baptized by him that first day.
Wow.
Talk about just all in. I'm like, this, just what he said made perfect sense. And I just dropped in my heart, and I'm like, why wouldn't I do this? Like, that's how I live my life. Why wouldn't I? Like, of course I'm going to do this. You know,
That's a great question.
Right?
Why
wouldn't you? I mean, hello, we just had Easter, and some of these things are just so amazing. And right now, people don't have their faith. I think they should get with one of us. We'll talk to them about it, because it's a big deal. And it's without faith, you know, what you have fear. So I don't know about you, but I don't think we're very fearful gals, and you don't need to be.
No, ma'am.
No. Well, you said you opened up this thing that with God on your side and promoting your business, it took all the pressure off of you. And I think that's huge as well. You know, you just give it up. Such good stuff. I mean,
yeah, I couldn't do this on my own. I'm way too intensive a person to be able to like mentor people, serve people. Like I would get in the way of that. And I notice myself when I get in the way of it. Like, I'm like, okay, fine, God, yeah, come in. And I pray for the Holy Spirit, come in, take all that away. And then like, he gets to lead. Because the minute it becomes about you, the minute it becomes about me, it's not as juicy. It's not as beautiful.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Makes such good sense. What else? So is that your gift, Tara, that you want to give to for your next event? Because that's a pretty good gift. Well, Jesus too. You're so generous. Yeah, I give you Jesus.
Get my free download of Jesus right here.
Perfect.
No. Yes, and no. You know what?
Yeah, we are. We're healthy, we're wealthy, and we're happy. This is the whole topic of the show. That's why I picked it. It made perfect sense. It was so easy. We were like, they dwell on this topic and the title of their show and all this. It came to me in 1 second. Power Hour. Hello, Lauren Powers. And then healthy, wealthy, and happy. Those are my top three. Without those, the triangle, the triad of that, what do you have? One thing falls off. Yeah, it just it's just so easy. If you let things be easy and, like you said, download and come from the heart, it just flows. Such an easier way than struggling. I struggled once in my life with the fire department, went through this whole thing, and I realized now I was never my path. And once I gave it up, I changed my life. So simple. Simple.
I love what you're talking about, because you just did this healthy, wealthy, and happy, but it actually is also Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Exactly.
And what's interesting is that like sometimes people have a hard time connecting to one of the three, like maybe God, maybe Jesus, maybe the Spirit. Like one of those three is not adding up, but it's like you can't connect to one, try another. You know, like I was saying that this morning, but anyway, I just thought I'd say that because you were saying the same thing. But anyway, my free gift is normally a download, but I'm being super generous because it's so needed. Like women, if you're a woman watching this, you've got to answer that calling. Like it's not a question anymore. Your vision is your, like this pull on your heart. You've got to answer it. You have to. You get to step.
That's so.
It's so true. And so I'm actually giving free tickets away. I know it's crazy. These are $3,000 tickets to Vision to Business. So
you're not sure when that's going to be, sometime in June.
It's sometime in June. I'll give you the link. The date will be on the link. I don't know where you're going to post it, if it's down here or wherever.
Right.
And here's the promo code. You use the promo code VISION, all capitals. That will get you your free ticket to Vision to Business. I mean, I have clients who run high six-figure businesses now from just coming to that event.
Wow. I was supposed to be there and I was committed to something else. I was on a marketer's cruise at the same time. So I'm so honored I want to jump in as well. I'm going to use the code VISION. I'm all in.
Babe, let's go.
You can never learn enough. And that's another thing I think is really powerful, just to be open to not know it all. You know what I mean? I'm constantly learning and just grabbing nuggets from different ones. Like look at the show. We have 21 different experts. And if each person can grab something from each one, whatever it's one sentence, one word, whatever, then it's a win. You know, super, super awesome. But you gave us a ton of nuggets, I will have to say. I just adore you. Really, I mean, so awesome. What else? What else you want to share with us?
What else do I want to share with you?
We have so much. It's like we've covered a lot already.
Yeah, we have. And I just love to take this last couple of minutes to just acknowledge you and the light that you are in this world, and your willingness to be different, your willingness to shine in dark corners, your willingness to get messy. And you are a leader, Lauren. And my favorite thing about you is that you're not just this person that people are magnetized to, but when they hit you, when they get that connection, like two magnets coming together, they experience this beautiful, safe, kind, nurturing, loving space.
Aww.
And really, Lauren, that is all we are called to be.
Mm-hmm.
All we are called to be is love. And my experience of you is that. My experience of you is love. And I love you so much. And this show is going to kick ass. It really is. I feel the energy around it already is just, it's going to be everything you hope for and more. And that book of yours, get me a copy already.
Yeah, where is it? Yeah, you know, I'm reading it online as well. I'm sharing it. I'm trying to be an open and vulnerable. Here it is. Yes, you can get a copy, babe, but you can get it digital, but I want to see you in person so I can autograph one for you.
I want an autograph.
Yes, of course you do. And I want you to have that as well. Well, it's got the pictures with, you know, Lady Gaga and J-Lo and all that, which is so fun because those were our stretches in our leadership. And I'm like, I know them. Of course, I was a seagull like you. We were the seagulls. People don't know what that means, but we know what that means. And
we know what that means.
Yeah, it's just a sisterhood. So exciting. But yeah, remember in the leadership thing when you guys came in the room, we had to sell you on our contract. And then I was standing there with the mic, and then I put it down, dropped the mic, and then joined the group. I'll never forget that moment.
Don't tell them. It's a secret.
Just that, drop the mic. That's what I'm saying. It's just
and that's my experience of you. You are just like, no muss, no fuss. Get in, drop the mic, and leave. You know, and take people along with you.
That's right. I love it. Thank you. Well, there you go. So we can talk all day. I know we can, but I think we've said so much. I don't want to overwhelm anybody with all this fabulous information. So Tara, tell us one more time how to find you. And
okay, yeah, reach out. I'm just Tara Oldridge. I'm the only Tara Oldridge in the world.
There's just one other. No, just.
Well, there is one more Tara Oldridge. She's a stripper. That's not me. You'll find me just the Tara Oldridge on Instagram, Facebook. My website is also just taraoldridge.com. And so it's really easy to find me. I did that on purpose.
There you go. With intention, and you're committed to it. And you're not attached to the results. What else? We can go on and you stand in your power. You're a badass. Serve it.
Come or don't come. Come or don't come.
Right? It doesn't matter. If they don't come, they're not your people. That's when I learned that. Yeah. Again, my whole attitude shifted when I wasn't attached to the outcome or the people. It's like, you know, I promote events as well and big fitness competitions. And I was always struggling and so like intent about getting the athletes, because it's not easy to get somebody on your stage and literally being judged in a bikini or little posing trunks, right? It's a lot to ask. But it's like, you know, finally when I gave it up, I'm like, the athletes that are supposed to be there will be there, and build it and they will come. And they just did. I mean, I did the work. Don't get me wrong. I promoted and hustled and, you know, advertised. It was out one by one, handing my little flyers and come to be on my stage. But when I shifted from that to women's empowerment, it was so easy. It just like, I just opened the floodgates. And what a difference with attracting all these female entrepreneurs and speakers and coaches and purpose-driven women that want to better the world. my whole world changed. It's just such good stuff. And I know that's what you do. You open it up and then they just show up. Your people.
I know. I had 60 women registered for Vision to Business. The last Vision to Business. 60 women.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's so good. Was 61.
Powerful.
I was the one and I didn't make it.
Okay, next one.
I'm all in.
Thank you so much for having me, Lauren.
Of course. And I'm going to call that husband of yours. We'll manifest flowers together. See how that can happen. I just adore you. I love you. Thank you for all your words, all your wisdom, all your knowledge, sharing, and being so open and vulnerable with our audience. And if you can do it, they can do it. And you just have so much to give. And you're an amazing servant of God. And I really love that about you. So we are going to wrap this up. Tara Oldridge in the house, sharing her goodies with us. Again.
I love you guys.
Yes. We're 4. We know what that means too. 4, baby. Love you, girlfriend. Can't wait to see you. All right. Take care.
Love you too, honey.
Bye. Everyone. And thanks for joining us. Yay.